So we've got Danny Sapko at the Rotosound offices in
Oh my
factory.
God.
So, have you ever been to anywhere that makes bass strings, bass instruments, anything like that? What's your background in terms of that side of things? Technical.
Very good question. No, I think this is my first time ever. I think this is my first time. I'm a string virgin.
Okay, so you've never like been anywhere near like the dirty side of making these things?
No, I'm firmly in the. I like it when it's all nice and polished and it's in my hands and I can play it. But today it's going to be interesting to see how it's really done.
And are you like a technical guy in terms of your basses? Do you like take it to someone to get set up, or are you like, I know how to do all that myself, and you've got the toolkit and you can do that?
I'll be honest, I'm a bit useless on both counts. I've never really learned how to do it properly, and I'm far too lazy and poor to take it out to proper luthiers. So I was just I twiddle a bit.
Okay.
And hope for the best.
You twiddle a bit, realise it's much worse when you started, and
Yep,
quickly
and then
get on the phone to your...
exactly.
Okay. So you've got a good background of playing, right? Like, if people, they've probably seen your YouTube channel or your Instagram and TikTok, etc. If you haven't already seen it, then Danny's got like a great channel, which is really funny, but also really informative. And
Well, this is the problem, because I think nowadays a lot of people are just seeing me as the comedy guy. So I'm trying to get back into doing some more music stuff.
yeah,
And, you know, like, I keep getting comments nowadays with people saying, like, oh, he actually plays. I thought he just talks rubbish on the internet. So I'm trying to get a bit more into doing it. Not many people are aware that I say won World Bassist of the Year in 2021. I only mention it every half an hour.
and you were playing last night, right? You said you came down to Camden.
Well, it was in the day, so there was there's these buskers, like busking kids called the Wops. They're Italian, and they play like yeah, I know. I'm half Italian as well, so I fit in quite
you
well.
can get away with it.
Yeah. Yeah, we met up. I got the train down from Bradford, tube straight over to Camden, come out of Camden station, met up with them, and just plugged straight in. And the police were there, so we had to they were like watching us like this, and they said,
What,
"You've got
Sting
one song."
and Andy Summers?
Yeah, them. No, the Camden Town
Okay.
Police. Ready to chuck us in their cells. They said, "You've got one song," so we had to rush through this one song.
So you're like, it's your like 45-minute prog saga or something.
But yeah, Jazz Odyssey. Yeah. But yeah, it was surreal. Also, I don't know if you saw, I got upgraded to first class yesterday on me train down because the train guard or the train manager was a bass player, and he recognised me and he was like, "Do you want to go in first class?" I was like, "Yeah." So I like stood in me jacket, like putting all studs and spikes on, sat in first class with having me tea and me bacon roll.
So, you know, you've got a particular look to you.
Yeah.
You have to see you in your t-shirts and your hat and your studs and piercings and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That's not just like just to put on for the camera then, in terms of like putting it on.
I'll be
you don't get
honest.
dressed for the camera. Are you travelling
No.
on train like that?
Oh, yeah. Nowadays
Yeah.
it's become part of my... The problem is, I started off being a little bit more, you know, Danny in real life, and here's Danny, the YouTube persona. And over time, these things have just blended into this weird, strange little man that I have become now. So, there is no real Danny and YouTube Danny. They are one singular entity.
Okay. And is that a problem? Like, well, I guess not if you're getting upgraded to first class, but...
Well, it's like I'm going to a wedding next week, and I've got like a, you know, kind of seditionary style blazer with the black and red stripes and all the safety pin stuff, and I was just like, I'm going to wear that. I'm going to wear me boots and stuff. I'm like, this is Danny now.
So going into like bands and things you like, you seem to do a whole series where you're like, get bassist XYZ sound. Is that kind of how you categorise the music you love, or do you just love everything? But that's how Danny Sapko YouTube.
No, I am really shallow with my what I listen to. I like kind of 50s, 60s, 70s guitar-based pop rock, which is why you know, I chose Rotosound strings as my choice because it suits it perfectly. I am trying to get into some more modern music, but I do feel like 95% of the stuff I listen to is that sort of stuff. Are you the same, or are you?
I'm exactly the same. So going back to the playing, you know, you've got a history then of playing in bands and that kind of thing before YouTube.
Yeah.
Can you give me a brief overview of like your time as a bass player?
I started off on guitar, and I sort of did that for a few years. I aged about 12, and when I turned 16, literally, like, some guy asked me to play bass in his band. It was just like, we've got a gig, we need a bass player. I'd never picked one up in my life. Didn't have a practice or anything, and it was in a pub in Bingley. You won't have heard of Bingley, will you? No. Bingley in Yorkshire. It's just a small town. And so the first time I pretty much picked up a bass, I was on stage playing in front of people. And it just felt really natural, it really did, and I just took it over from there, and that's how I'd say it found me. But I had a white BC Rich Warlock copy.
Oh, nice.
Big
not
24
even
fret.
a proper one.
No, it was like this massive thing, big horned, and it used to zap me. It used to give me electric shocks while I was playing. So I always felt like it was a shock collar. Every time I made a mistake, it'd like let me know.
And what kind of like music was that you're into back then?
I was doing a sort of lot of, it was almost like country blues, sort of Tom Petty sort of
Oh,
stuff.
that bass was perfect.
But I got lent a Tokai hard puncher from the 80s.
Okay.
So I started using that instead from there, so that was a bit more fitting. I love that thing. It was like, they call it the lawsuit bass. And that was strung with Rotosound strings.
Okay.
And that was my first ever time, I think, I really noticed, because you got red and blue at the end of the strings.
Yeah,
and I was
yeah.
ooh.
Yeah.
And so I noticed, and yeah, so I guess you could say pretty much from the start, I have been a Rotosound string user, although that time was by accident. They were just on the bass at the time.
Yeah, but a lot of people, that's how they get introduced to anything, an instrument or a string or something like that. It's just what it was there at the time, and if they like it, they remember it.
Yeah.
And they'll pick it up again. So then you were playing in bands and stuff up to like when you started doing social media stuff?
Yeah, I had a sort of like mixed success. I sort of played in a few sort of biggish festivals and stuff with a few bands, but I found myself most of the time playing in covers bands to the same sort of 9 to 10 people in a pub in Bradford.
Okay.
And I did that for, 8 or 9 years. And as much as I did enjoy it, I thought there's got to be a bit more that I can do with my career than this, And so I just started making videos. Well, I've made videos for years, but I just didn't really get anywhere with them for a long time. It's only been in the last 3-4 years that I've gone from 10,000 YouTube subscribers to 500,000. So it's been like the last few years it's just really taken off.
And when you started doing it, was it with did you have a purpose? Did you see like, I'd like to make this a really big thing and kind of get recognised and upgrade to first class on the train? Or were you like, well, I quite enjoy doing this, it's fun, and then it kind of...
I'll be totally honest, I was just like, the real world and the idea of getting a real job is something I've always strived to avoid. So I was like, I'm going to be a YouTuber. This is how people are, doing it these days. Yeah. And obviously, it's something that I enjoy doing as well. I was like, if I can just do something that I love creatively all my life, I don't care if I'm only just getting by, which I still am, but as long as I can do it and I'm not down that bloody job centre again, like queuing up in February in Bradford, seeing the same guy looking at me. I'm like, I just want to keep doing it, and this is something I enjoy doing. But in the beginning, I looked at people like Davey504 and all these other guys, and I was just like, right, I'll just copy what they're doing. And
like subject matter wise.
Subject matter, the way they
presented
it, yeah. I was just like, I'm just going to copy these guys, because if they have success, then I can. And I was like, I won't talk on camera. No one will understand me stupid accent or my stupid sense of humour anyway. So, but they did with Davey, to be fair, with his Italian side. But I got absolutely nowhere for 8-9 years. I got like a few thousand views on videos and stuff.
That's a long time to keep pushing at it though. For like, yeah.
Well, I was gigging and stuff as well. I was doing a lot of teaching. I was just sort of, but I knew in my head that like this is what I really want to be doing. Yeah. And I was kind of very frustrated because I really enjoyed my 20s, and I drank a load of beer and whatever else. But I just didn't really get where I wanted to get to in terms of YouTube. And when lockdown came around, I thought, right, this is it. I'm gonna really make a change. And I didn't still. I probably because I don't know if you felt the same. It was a weird time, and I was like, oh, I had a haircut, and I look terrible, and I don't want to be in front of a camera right now, so I didn't really get it going.
And also the start of that time felt like you were like, everyone did it, I think, wrote a big list of, right, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this and this. And then, however long that lockdown or whatever lasted, you look back and you go, I barely got through number one on the list.
Exactly.
There's so much other stuff going on.
But so it was actually after that. It was after I got my first ever job at Gear for Music. And I was working there I worked there before just demoing a load of basses and stuff. And I've done over 100 gear demos for them. But then they took me on. And it was like an hour's drive away from where I lived and stuff. And it didn't really work out. I was there for 9 months. But it was very sort of officey and everything. And I saw that whole environment and I thought, like, I don't want to be stuck in an office doing this sort of thing. So as I left there, I just hammered down and I was like, I'm going to do a video every day. And that was 3 years ago, and I've put out a video every single day since that day.
Brilliant. That must be a lot of work. And
it is, but it's really enjoyable.
Good.
So, I look forward to going to make my videos. I am, however, in a tiny back bedroom in my parents' house where I learned to play the guitar. They thankfully, they said, like, right, we've got a couple of spare rooms now. You can come do your videos here, which I'm very grateful for. But I need a studio to do what I'm doing. I really need to. I feel like I'm able to progress now, but I haven't got the facilities yet. So I'm hoping to upgrade. So
you film, you'll film a video that day, and it'll be. Yeah. It's not like you film a month's worth of videos.
Oh no, I'm from what you see from me. It's probably about 20 minutes before I've filmed it and I've sat down to edit it and put it out. Even with the longer videos, I usually just sit down, script, record and put it out within a day because I'm on this mission to put out something every single day, So, maybe I could be a bit better. Sometimes I feel like I'm doing quantity over quality, to be honest. But I found that people, I started getting messages like, oh, hi Danny, it's 9:30, what time are you uploading today? And I was like, oh my God, people sit and wait for these videos. And, the nicer side of that is people just say like, oh, thank you, it's got me through some tough times. I sit and wait for your videos and it cheers me up and stuff like that. But I've not had a sort of route that I'm hoping to do, other than I feel like a lot of people are just sitting and talking about music at the moment, whereas I feel like we need to get back to playing some more. So I'd like to incorporate a lot more playing and encourage people to do the same. I think we're in danger of everyone just putting down their instruments and just talking about playing their instruments. Yeah.
So, talking about playing then, what's your favourite, your go-to desert island bass, amp, effect if you play them, and strings?
Right, okay. So I've got one of each, have I?
Yeah.
Right, okay. So, Rickenbacker. You know what? It might be controversial. I'd probably say I like a modern Rickenbacker. I feel like, I love the old one that I'm slowly paying off. I've not even paid off my Rickenbacker yet. But I do like modern instruments that are sort of in the style of old. Not with the relics, though. I don't like relics. Yeah. I've always been against that. So I'd say a nice, brand new Rickenbacker 4003.
Just because it's more playable, or it's more...
it's the sound.
Consistent.
It's the sound. Absolutely.
Okay.
And it's... I wouldn't say it's the most playable bass ever, but I'm not too flashy. I feel like it stops me from being too flashy. Mm-hmm. It tells me. It's like, no, you're playing too much. I'm going to limit your playing.
Okay. Yeah. So you got your Rickenbacker, you're bringing that, and what strings you fit into your Rickenbacker?
So, as you're probably aware with all the strings I've previously ordered, I have tried out almost everything you make here.
You tried our black nylon bass strings, flat wounds, nickel coated ones.
Yeah.
Right, so what ones?
So I've settled on, let me find my magic bag, Ta-da! The swing bass 66, 40 to 100. This may be subject to change.
Yeah.
But this is what I'm playing at the moment.
Yeah. Okay.
Next time I order, I might have a totally different idea.
But with the Ricky, they're great.
Yeah. This is what I put on the Ricky at the moment.
What are you liking particularly about those?
They sound bloody fantastic.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think it suits the Rickenbacker perfectly because of the kind of bright sound. They sound new after quite a while of leaving them on, which is what I particularly like about them.
Yeah. And Paul Gray, I know you're a big Paul Gray fan. Is
that what he uses?
He plays a slightly different gauge.
Right.
He plays the LC, which I think a little bit lighter perhaps. But yeah, Paul.
So
Paul
I've got stronger fingers than Paul.
Yeah, exactly. And amp-wise, what are you playing?
I think I'd probably... Oh, you see, this is difficult because I'd choose a beautiful Ampeg SVT Classic, but if I'm on my own on a desert island, I'd have to carry it around and it's going to be bloody heavy. Which wouldn't be ideal, but that'd be the perfect sound. Cool. I feel like that's quite a classic combination. The Ricky, the Rotosounds, and the Ampeg.
Yeah, plenty of bands throughout history, especially as you're saying you love your 70s music and stuff like that. They've played that setup, so that sounds good. And if you can share that island with one other famous bass player, who's it going to be? And in terms of for playing music together.
Yeah, I mean, this is the problem, innit? Because, like, personality-wise, it might be different, because you never know. Because, it'd be great to... have you ever had that question about who would you like to sit and, have a meal with and chat with? And it's like... I'm thinking about it, and I was like, I'm sure I'd love to meet Paul McCartney. That'd be great. Sit down and talk to him. And I was just like, would he want to talk to me? Would he just be waiting to get the bill the whole time?
Yeah.
And if I had to live on a desert island with someone, you see, musically, I think like J.J. Burnell is my hero. Stranglers.
Okay, yeah.
And fellow Rotosound user, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So we could sit there and, he could try and convince me why his P-bass is better than my Rickenbacker, and I'd totally tell him why it's not. But, hopefully we can go off to our separate sides of the island. I don't want to, live in too close quarters with him.
Okay.
Is that acceptable?
I don't know how big this island is, but
That's true.
Maybe you'll have, your amps set up either side and have a bass battle, I don't know.
And I have to live there for eternity, just me and JJ Burnell. I'm sure we'd get on. He seems like a nice guy. Yeah. But isn't he like a black belt in something, karate, so he'd keep me in line as well.
Well, keep off any road crabs or something like that, I'm sure. Are you going to put out a video today then?
Yes.
Well, you got to, otherwise...
I've got to.
Otherwise we're breaking your...
Absolutely.
one-a-day habit.
Yeah, so but I'm on a little bit of a work holiday down here in London, so I've had some stuff prepared. But that's the thing, it's like, I remember last year I went on my first proper holiday in 9 years, and I only went to the Lake District for a couple of nights, and people were like, oh great, see you when you're back, and I was like, nah, I've got videos ready to go for while I'm away, and they were all pre-prepared. So I've done the same while I'm here in London doing all this cool stuff.
Very hard worker as well, so that's good. Right, I think it's time. I'm going to put on my bass hat.
It's a bloody hot day for that.
Head down to the factory and show you how to make some strings.
Awesome. I did it. It's a miracle.